Hello and welcome to CVR News Network. You're watching CVR English. Welcome to World 360 with me, Sandeep. In a very tragic incident, a Pakistani journalist swept away live on air while reporting from neck-deep waters in Rawalpindi. Video of this dramatic moment has gone viral, fueling outrage over the media risks and state response. At least 116 dead and lakhs displaced as torrential rains wreak havoc across Pakistan. Collapsed dams, power cuts, and mass displacement turned monsoon into a national emergency.
गाजी खान के कबायली इलाकों कोयल सुलेमान में होने वाली मूसलाधार तूफानी बारिशों की वजह से कोयल सुलेमान से छोटे बड़े बरसाती नदी नाले जो है वो आ गए हैं, जिसकी वजह से कबायली इलाकों के रास्ते जो है वो मनकता हो गए। कबायली लोगों को सख्त मुश्किलात का सामना है। घरों को जाने वाले और शहरों को आने वाले कबायली लोग जो है वो फंस कर रह चुके हैं, क्योंकि बरसाती नदी नालों से जो है वो गुजरना बिल्कुल महाल हो चुका है। और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि पानी जो है वो आगे की तरफ जो है वो ले जाता है। तो यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर आगे भी बंदा जो है वो चला जाता है। तो हिफाजती तदबीर जो है वो इख्तियार करनी पड़ती है। तो हिफाजती इकदाम जो है वो मुकम्मल किए जा रहे हैं और लोगों को इस हवाले से सख्त मुश्किलात का सामना है। हम भी जो है अपने नाज़रीन को लम्हा ब लम्हा जो है वो ये बताते जा रहे हैं कि ये सूरत हाल जो है वो पैदा हो जा रही है। मजीद इस तरह से सूरत हाल गाजी खान के कबायली इलाकों कोयल सुलेमान में होने वाली मूसलाधार तो
In the early hours of July 19, 2025, over the 20 Russian drones targeted Odessa, Ukraine's vital Black Sea port, igniting a fire in multi-story apartment building and tragically killing one resident. According to Mayor Hanaditi Trokonov, emergency crews are working in enhanced mode, battling flames and evacuating families, some carrying children wrapped in blankets from the burning structure. Emergency responders rushed to the scene after Russian forces staged a mass drone attack on the Ukrainian Black Sea port of Odessa early on Saturday, setting ablaze at least one multi-story apartment, killing one resident, the city mayor said.
Чья собака? С верхних этажей. 287! Мама, телефон ключ.
Повністю вибило всі склопакети, вікна, постраждала квартира, десь, можна сказати, половина квартири згоріла. Все, що вище, там більш серйозний пожар, була пожежа. А на 8-му поверсі прилетів шахід, прямо туди.
Пару минут было тишины, что мы могли как-то выбираться, и мы слышим, что там бабушка кричит, завалила ее дверями, там еще чем-то.
Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro said on Friday he never considered fleeing the country and that the top court imposing precautionary measures against him, including wearing an ankle bracelet, amounting to his supreme humiliation. Bolsonaro on Friday had his home searched by police, adding to legal pressure that US President Donald Trump has tried to end by threatening a steep tariff on Brazilian goods. Lawmakers from Bolsonaro's right-wing Liberal Party said Bolsonaro was banned from contacting key allies, including his son, Eduardo, a Brazilian congressman who has been lobbying in Washington to help his father. On social media, the lawmaker tied the latest court order to a video his father released on Thursday, thanking Trump for his support.
Peraí.
Olha o celular aí, pô.
Pode, presidente.
Olha o celular aí, pô. Meus advogados vão tomar conhecimento do inquérito restrito a Brasília com tornozeleira. Fizeram a busca pela bancada, pegaram R$7 mil e aproximadamente 14 mil dólares. Tudo devidamente aí.
Quieta aí, cara.
Então, no momento, é um novo inquérito. Estou também dentro dele. Nada de concreto existe ali. E a própria Polícia Federal não me botou no Rio de Janeiro. O PGR foi além do que viu no inquérito. Me botou no Rio de Janeiro, mas não tem prova de nada. Um golpe num domingo, um golpe sem forças armadas, sem armas. No mais, nunca pensei em sair do Brasil, nunca pensei em ir para a embaixada, mas as cautelares são em função disso.
Peraí.
Olha o celular aí, pô.
Pode, presidente.
Olha o celular aí, pô. Meus advogados vão tomar conhecimento do inquérito restrito a Brasília com tornozeleira. Fizeram a busca pela bancada, pegaram R$7 mil e aproximadamente 14 mil dólares. Tudo devidamente aí.
Quieta aí, cara.
Então, no momento, é um novo inquérito. Estou também dentro dele.
President Trump's doctor has said bruising on his hands is the result of frequent handshaking after a medical checkup found he was suffering from chronic venous insufficiency. Recent pictures of the US president have shown discoloration of his hands. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said he had been examined by the doctors after reporting mild swelling in his lower legs.
In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy. And the president In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Additionally, Recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy. And the president In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease.
Britain and its people are not safe, a former NATO General Secretary has warned as he told Parliament, describing the country as unprecedented for war in an understatement. Lord Robertson of Port Ellen, who co-wrote the Strategic Defence Review (SDR), said the UK is lacking in ammunition, training, people, logistics and medical capacity. He told the upper chamber, bearing in the mind the difficult world that we live in and have to survive in, this is what I firmly believe. We are under-insured, we are under-prepared and we are not safe, he said.
Bearing in mind the difficult world that we live in and have to survive in, this is what I firmly believe. We are underinsured, we are underprepared, we are not safe. This country and its people are not safe. The British people, faced with a world in turmoil, with great power competition spilling over now into conflict, with constant grey zone attacks on our mainland, and with Russia, often with the cooperation of Iran, China and North Korea, challenging the existing world order, we simply, in this country, are not safe. Our adversaries have given up business as usual, and we have got to do so as well. Over the years, we have allowed our forces and our defences to become hollowed out. When we say in the report that we are unprepared, it is an understatement. We don't have the ammunition, the training, the people, the spare parts, the logistics, and we don't have the medical capacity to deal with the mass casualties that we would face if we were involved in high intensity. Bearing in mind the difficult world that we live in and have to survive in, this is what I firmly believe. We are underinsured, we are underprepared, we are not safe.
President Donald Trump signed the Genius Act into law on July 18, 2025, establishing the first federal regulatory framework for stable coins, cryptocurrencies pegged to assets like US dollar. The bipartisan legislative mandates full reserve backing with liquid assets, monthly reserve disclosures, and consumer protections designed to enhance market confidence. Supported by crypto executives at the White House ceremony, Trump heralded the move as essential to making the US the crypto capital of the world. While experts cautioned that increased oversight could limit competition, they acknowledged the act will clarify the rules, support adoption, and boost demand for US treasuries.
And with today's pushing even further into the exciting new frontier, just as I promised last year, the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Let me say the entire crypto community, for years, you were mocked and dismissed and counted out. You were counted out as little as a year and a half ago. But this signing is a massive validation, and even before this signing, over the last year and a half, I think your stuff has gone up more than any stock, or just about more. A couple of stocks that were pretty good, I will say, but you have certainly as an industry gone up more than anybody. Nobody's gained the respect in such a short period of time. But this signing of age, and I also did it for the votes because you did come out and vote, I will tell you. Yeah, we worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you.
House Republicans scrambled late Thursday to draft a non-binding resolution signaling support for transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation, responding to backlash from the party's base over the Trump administration withholding of records. While the measure carries no legal force, it signals intent to appease far-right calls for more disclosure and alliance with President Trump, who has dismissed the matter as a hoax. The resolution could come to a vote next week, emerging from a hold on a $9 billion spending cuts package.
Credible documents, records, and communications. Well, who's going to decide that? Attorney General Bondi, in conjunction with Donald Trump, who today said that a letter that he wrote to Jeffrey Epstein on his birthday, which is published, which has all of the indicia of credibility, is not credible. That wouldn't be included. Let's release the real Epstein file.
Clear that he wants all credible information, credible evidence to be turned over to the people so that the people can decide. We trust the American people in their judgment. The Rules Committee turned into a bit of a debacle this week because the Democrats were trying to politicize this. We were working on cutting fraud, waste, and abuse and wasteful spending, and they kept trying to hijack that and derail it and turn it into.
Household unrest erupted again overnight in southern Syria's Suwaida province as renewed clashes between Druze militia and Bedouin clans prompted Damascus to redeploy government forces. The violence reignited despite a previously brokered ceasefire, drawing in Syrian troops tasked with restoring state control and protecting. Household unrest erupted again in Syria. Household unrest erupted again in Syria's Suwaida. Clashes between Druze militia and Bedouin clans prompted Damascus to redeploy. Israel, citing threats to the Druze minority, conducted airstrikes on government positions. The fighting has displaced tens of thousands of worsening sectarian tensions as humanitarian aid remains severely disturbed. We have seen the visuals already. An explosion early Friday at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Bezcallos training facility tragically killed 3 veteran deputies, investigators said. The blast occurred around 7:30 a.m. local time as members of the arson and explosives unit handled unexploded ordnance. Authorities included the FBI, ATF, LAPD, bomb squad, and Los Angeles Fire Department are probing the incident as a possible training incident. Nearby vehicles are damaged in the parking lot. The tragedy marks the department's deadliest single event since 1857. All training has been paused pending the inquiry. Top church leaders from Jerusalem entered Gaza on Friday in a rare solidarity visit, one day after an Israeli shell struck Gaza's only Catholic church. Latin Patriarch Perbastet Pezzabilla and Greek Orthodoxy Patriarch Theophilos toured the damaged Holy Family Church in Deir al-Balah, where 3 people were killed and 10 others, including the parish priest, were wounded. They brought humanitarian aid, assisted evacuations, and called for pastoral care and peace. Israel expressed regret over the stray ammunition incident, and an investigation is underway. Clashes erupted again Friday between Druze militiamen and Sunni Bedouin tribes near Swedia in southern Syria, shattering a fragile ceasefire. Fires burned alongside rural roads as footage from Al Arabiya showed a heavy deployment of Syrian security forces amid renewed tit-for-tat attacks. The violence shows a week of sectarian bloodshed that has displaced tens of thousands, left hundreds dead, and disrupted basic services. The Syrian government has redeployed troops to quell the fighting, while regional mediators press for calm and humanitarian access amid the deepening crisis. A second flight carrying 252 Venezuelan migrants repatriated from El Salvador has landed at Maikuta International Airport in Caracas as a part of high-stakes prisoner swap involving the USA, Venezuela, and El Salvador. The migrants initially deported from the US under the Alien Enemies Act and held El Salvador's CECOT prison after unsubstantiated accusations of gang affiliation were exchanged for 10 Americans detained in Venezuela. The deal also secured the release of political prisoners and separated children. An official siren wailed at 9:53 a.m. on July 18th in Buenos Aires, marking the 31st anniversary of the 1994 AMIA bombing that killed 85 people at the Argentine Israelite Mutual Association. Hundreds attended the memorial, chanting "Impunity persists, terrorism too," as President Javier Milei joined the ceremony with his sister Karina. Secretary General of the Presidency Security was highlighted amid tensions with Iran, which condemned Milei's attendance and strong pro-Israel stance. Argentina has recently authorized it in absentia trials for Iranian Hezbollah suspects. Firefighters battled a wildfire on early Friday that has burned down more than 3,000 hectares near Madrid. Drone footage of Madrid's emergency services showed the extent of fire, as authorities said the fire was encircled and that they were looking to control it during the course of the day.
Cuatro del tirón, ¿vale?
And that's the end of the bulletin. Keep watching